Everyone, it's Daniel here from Infravest. Hope you're all doing well. I want to talk about Bitcoin. I want to talk about the crypto markets. It's pretty interesting to see that with the rally that we're seeing in the equity markets, with the rally that we're seeing in NASDAQ and S&P 500, right? S&P 500 has been moving up 18% from the lows of June, and NASDAQ has been moving up about 23-24% since the lows of June. And now Bitcoin, although percentage-wise, yes, from the lows of hitting around the 17K mark, moving up to 23, 24K, that makes it about, I think, about 43% gain in the rally in Bitcoin. But when you compare the rally and the charts between Bitcoin and the equity markets, it looks like, especially when you compare with the meme stocks out there, the Bed Bath and Beyond and the ticker symbol MANU, MANU, right? When you compare the meme stocks there with crypto, you're not seeing the same thing with the crypto markets. You're not seeing the same thing with Bitcoin. And it looks like Bitcoin is going to be in a bear market for some time, even maybe until 2024. We could see Bitcoin in a bear market until then. And even though the equity markets and a lot of these meme stocks are moving more aggressively and going haywire left and right and whatnot. So it's pretty interesting to see that with the equity markets and how it's rallying, how it's moving up and the squeezes you're seeing in the chart, you just don't see the same squeeze in Bitcoin. And I'm quite surprised because I expected Bitcoin to reach to around 30,000 at least to at least test that major resistance level, and it couldn't do it. It couldn't do it. NASDAQ kept going up, kept going up, kept going up. Bitcoin was more of just trading and trending slow. It did go up, but it didn't get that same exuberant price increase the way NASDAQ and the S&P 500 has been seen. And plus on top of that, a lot of the meme stocks that you're seeing today. Right? So it basically tells me one thing, that Bitcoin and the crypto markets are still in a bear market. It's still under a lot of pressure. You probably, the bear market might last for another year or so, and probably until January 2024 or somewhere in the year of 2024, let's say, we could probably see a pickup back in Bitcoin again. Now, does this mean that Bitcoin might go lower than the 17K mark where it dropped below? And I think it's possible. It's possible it could hit around 14, 15K, maybe even as low as 12 or 10K. Very much a possibility, especially if this bear market in the equity markets, and specifically talking more on NASDAQ, because you see a nice correlation. You tend to see a correlation between NASDAQ and Bitcoin. So if NASDAQ really starts to plunge off from its 23% rally that we have seen, then definitely you can see Bitcoin come and follow through with it. Right? So if we do get that ugly recession, we do get that severe recession, and the markets start selling off, we have a liquidation event, there's halts at the exchanges, and this recession is looking more ugly than anticipated, then yes, the equity markets will sell off, NASDAQ will sell off, S&P 500 will sell off, which means also cryptos and Bitcoin will sell off, Ethereum will sell off, Solana will sell off, XLM, you name it. The whole crypto market will sell off, especially if we get into a very, very ugly recession, right? But we have to wait. We have to wait and see. Check out my video when I talked about this rally in the equity markets and how it could probably be bad going forward in terms of rate hikes. And if that's the case, and the Fed does over tighten in terms of their interest rates or the quantitative tightening, and something does break and growth does deteriorate, right? There's a lagging effect. We do have to wait for the effects of interest rates about 6 months. Let's say you wait about 6 months, so that would take us around January of next year, January 2023. Maybe until then, we might see growth data non-farm payrolls, ISM start to come much more weaker, and then the jobless claims and the 4-week average jobless claims and the jobs report and unemployment rate start to show more horrendous numbers and more job losses, then yes, that could be your signal and your tip-off that this rate hike that we've been seeing and the fact that the rates are going to move into restrictive territory by September, and then the effects of it 6 months later we'll probably see it next year, then maybe you might say that, okay, being in restrictive zone and being there for some time to try to bring inflation down lower is going to bring the equity markets and definitely the crypto markets and Bitcoin and so on. So if Bitcoin couldn't move up on the previous CPI report that we got, yes, it did move up, but not to the point where it moved up to the 30K mark and it start to really get momentum and legs. The fact that it didn't do that just basically tells me that if it can't move on that weak CPI report, then it's gonna be some time until Bitcoin starts moving. And it is possible if we do get the recession, you do get a massive sell-off in the crypto market, followed by an ugly recession, and then probably you might see light at the end of the tunnel, where in 2024 we start to pick back up again with the pivot from the Fed, right? But it all depends. Now this could be, I could be totally wrong, right? And how could I be totally wrong about this? If the Fed decides this year to pivot, this year, then yes, Bitcoin to the moon, crypto to the moon, right? All your favorite crypto coins to the moon. If they start to pivot and start cutting rates, then sure, the crypto markets will start to pick up. The equity markets will all-time highs, right? But I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. And for the markets to really start moving up, we do need that pivot, and the Fed has been saying they want to increase interest rates. They want to fight inflation. We have inflation at 8.5%. It's a problem, and it might be, and we've seen this in past history, and that when we see inflation rate go below their 2% target, their target is to reach through 2%. So in order to reach the 2%, they're probably not going to hit 2%. They're probably going to go below 2%, maybe in negative territory. And to get to that level, you might need an ugly recession. And then you could say, sure, the Fed's going to pivot. And then you could say Bitcoin to the moon. But until then, I don't think Bitcoin's going to have a tough time. It might range in between maybe 30K, may reach there to 30K, maybe after September CPI report. If September CPI report comes in weak, maybe that will give it legs. And if that doesn't, then maybe, we might be in this bear market for some time. It might range, maybe sell off if it's a severe recession, and then light at the end of the tunnel. So let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment below, and I'll see you guys around. Thanks. Bye.